Kia ora and welcome back to Catherine Parr's Light. This podcast is a space for spiritual awareness, evolution, and expansion. A place where we explore what it means to remember who we are, to grow in consciousness, and to return to wholeness in our own way, in our own time. In this episode, I'm joined by Frank Arjava Petter for a deep and reflective conversation around intimacy, love, and presence, not just in relationships, but as pathways for spiritual awareness and lived connection. We speak about ancient cultures and reflections from Egypt, meditation as a practice of presence, parenting as a relationship between whole beings, and the strength that comes from remembering our ancestral roots. Much of this kōrero echoes the essence of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, a reminder that truth, healing, and awakening are always found in this moment right here. If you found your way here, trust that this conversation has arrived for you exactly as it's meant to. There's nothing you need to do. Simply sit, listen, and allow yourself to be with what arises, held in your own wholeness. And if anything does rise within you, I invite you to like, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast, as you never know who might be needing to hear this kōrero, this conversation at this time. Let's dive on in. Kia ora, Frank Arjava Petter. Thank you so much for joining us on the show yet again. It's so wonderful to have you here. It's always a privilege and honor and such a pleasure to have you and your beautiful Wairoa spirit with us. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We started really nicely into the new year. We went to Egypt, my wife and myself. And it was amazing to see the pyramids and see this incredible culture. And of course, it made us wonder what happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
How did we regress so far from all this beauty and magnificence into constriction and small-mindedness? So that was kind of a big shock. But okay.
Are you able to talk more into that, around what that means for those that haven't been to Egypt, like myself?
Yeah, we can. So the most amazing thing, of course, were the pyramids in Egypt. And when you look at them from far away, you see all these small stones, one on top of the other. And then when you come closer, you see that each one of those stones is like huge, humongous, yeah? And makes you wonder, how did they manage that? How much effort they put into building such a cathedral, how many years it took, how many people it took. And then when we look at our contemporary architecture, it's a disaster. Yeah? There's no beauty in it, no love in it. So that was very interesting, good to see. And I remember one of the key moments in my life. I was about maybe 20, 21 or something like that. I was working in India in the garden of Osho. And I had the job to create a garden out of a wasteland. And every day I went to my boss, who was a beautiful, very beautiful Greek woman, was kind of my surrogate spiritual mother. And I said to her, I need help. I can't do this by myself. She said, we don't have anybody. She had a very thick Greek accent. It was my first Greek big love, this woman. And she's about 25, 30 years older than. And so she was in her 50s. She said, we don't have anybody. And that wasn't true, because there were so many people, and so many people would have been willing and really glad to be part of that project. Anyway, she said, you're going to have to do it by yourself. So for about a year, almost every day, I complained and said, I need help, I need help, I need help. And then one day, the garden was beautiful, was producing beautiful food. And she comes up to me and says, okay, from tomorrow on, you'll have another helper. I'm like, I don't need anybody, it's why you didn't give me the help when I needed it? And she said, you will have her and she will help you. Then I talked to my like second boss. And I said, what am I going to do? Now I don't have a job for two people. I have hardly enough for myself because everything is running beautifully. It goes by itself. And he said, make the place beautiful enough for the master, our teacher, Osho, to walk in, and you will feel perfectly fine when he walks into the place. Yeah? Make it so beautiful. And the first thought that came to my mind was like, wow, I'm going to make my whole life like that. So that was a big, key moment in my life I will never forget. And I've been working on this project ever since then, for the past 40 years, trying to make my life filled with beauty and transcendence, and trying to do the best I can. Not in a perfectionist kind of way, but to pour all my love, all my attention into whatever it is that I do.
Beautiful.
And sometimes I succeed in that, and sometimes I don't. And one of the key elements of this is intimacy.
Mm.
And intimacy is for us very much coupled with sexuality
Connotation.
in our brains.
Mm.
And in let's say romantic relationship, if we are lucky to have one, to be in one, that's a great playground to learn intimacy with somebody you love very deeply.
Mm.
So from a personal standpoint, in relationship with my wife, let's say, we decided when we got together that we're going to put all our cards on the table. We don't play games. We don't lie. We don't hide anything from each other. And we just show ourselves exactly how we are. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. And I've been doing that also with other people when I was a child. That sometimes created difficulties because I didn't feel the separation from others. It was difficult to handle as a child because there were no boundaries between me and the other. But now in my work, teaching Reiki, teaching people to be well, it's a great asset to have this feeling of intimacy, where you and the other are one. Yeah, and that's a beautiful, very beautiful thing. But of course, the relationship is just a playground in which you can learn that kind of attitude. And the next step is to do it everywhere with everyone. Like with you, I feel intimate. Yeah? With people I meet in the supermarket or at the beach, I feel intimate. And I will tell you another key um, experience I had when I was younger. I was 16. I was sitting in France. We went on vacation with my parents in the northwest of France by the Atlantic. And I see far away, I was all on my own. It must have been either autumn or springtime. There was this wide expanse of beach left and right, few kilometers of nothing. The wind was blowing like hell. I was sitting there all by myself, and I see this dog about a mile away, a big dog. And he's following the scent in his nose, going like, like this, sniffing here and there, going here and there. And then he comes straight towards me. So we were the only two beings on that beach. He comes straight to me. He sniffs my hand, stays for a few seconds, and then continues onwards. And in that moment, I thought, I want to learn how to be like that dog. To be fearless and to be open and vulnerable and true to myself. Yeah, so that's been the journey, my journey.
Does everybody receive you in a heart-centered way, or do you ever have people kind of put walls up because they're not comfortable with that level of intimacy?
You have to be a little bit decent, I suppose, because if you look at somebody with all the love in your heart that you have, maybe they misunderstand that. They think, oh, what does he want from me? Is he in love with me, or you want something, because we're so accustomed to
Mm.
people acting in a certain way when they want something.
Mm.
But I don't want anything. So I have a intense, let's say, gaze when I look at people.
Mm.
And sometimes it's better to hide it and to look away, not to intimidate people.
Mm.
Yeah, that's maybe the difficulty. But this intimacy is not something that is just between lovers or between people, but with everything.
Mm.
So intimacy also means that when you touch the steering wheel of your car, you touch it with intimacy, with love, because
Mm.
really you are the world.
Mm.
And the steering wheel and the tree and the rock and everything that's happening, all the people around you, it's all one.
Mm.
And so basically you're touching yourself. Yeah? An
Yeah.
extension of yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Yeah, whether it's a rock or a steering wheel or a person, it's all the same.
Mm.
Yeah, so you put all your love, all your care, all your being into whatever it is that you do.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Very.
We could talk about that for hours, what that means. In terms of my kids, for example, I have two kids. My son is 17, daughter is 20, turning 21. And I remember when we were pregnant, okay, my wife will complain. She will say, we were pregnant, you were not. But I saw it like that, because we were
Mm.
growing this incredible project together. So every day of the pregnancy of both kids, I remember I was waking up in the morning and the first thing I did was touch my wife's belly and talk to the little child in there and say, you are made of 100% love. Remember that. If that's the only thing that you can remember, if that's the only thing I can bring close to your heart, because I can't make it, but it's an offering. If you can remember that, you'll be fine, whatever happens. And I think they worked really well.
Yeah.
They understand that this is it. We are made of love, all of us, no matter what.
Mm.
Yeah, love brings kids, nothing else.
So when they were having their struggles growing up, which they all do. I mean, we all have our um, difficulties. How did you navigate that through? How did you navigate that, Java? Well,
Well,
because yeah.
when I'm saying that, it sounds like, oh my God, this guy is so wise and incredible. He's doing this all the time. I don't succeed all the time. Yeah, there is no 100%, but there's an effort,
Yes.
constant effort to, uh, um, if I say a goal, that's not exactly true, but your
But in that intention.
your intention is there and your attitude is there.
Mm.
So I make a big effort to remember that with the kids. And one of the things that one of the tricks I used from right away till when they were born was to treat them as people,
Mm-hmm.
not as kids, not as somebody who doesn't know, but somebody who's complete in their development, just small.
Mm.
Yeah, somebody who is a perfect manifestation of that love.
Mm.
And that's how I treat them. Okay, it doesn't mean that I don't give them advice or I don't get pissed at them at times. I do.
Good.
Yeah, that's all on the surface, but behind it really is that intense, that intimacy that
Mm.
knows that we are made of this beautiful love.
Mm.
Yeah, and then when sometimes you forget, then you remember again. And we are here on earth to learn. All the experiences that we have, the difficulties that we have, are chances for more awareness, more love, more kindness. And that's what we're here for, to learn that. So when kids go through their development, it's really an amazing project. First of all, they are small, they grow. And imagine what it must feel like when your body is growing, when it is extending, when the limbs are growing, when the body is growing. What an incredible stress that is on the system when the spirit that is already as is starts to be too small. The body starts to be too small to contain that immensity. And I was always keeping that in mind and giving them lots of rope, giving them freedom, basically freedom to express themselves, freedom to be as they are and not take it personally. I had a friend who was a physiotherapist. She said to me, who was a Zen Buddhist practitioner. She said, "Well, who needs meditation if you have kids?"
Oh, I think you need it more.
Yeah, you need it more. Well, really, that's what it is. That's what it is meditation in action, meaning watching them grow up, watching them grow into themselves, into being themselves, letting them develop and not interfering.
Yes.
Unless it's dangerous. And so there are certain things that need to be clear from the beginning. For example, I have experimented with drugs when I was a kid, and that was fine. I enjoyed it. I don't regret it, but there is a limit. And we've always made that very clear, guys. If you want to experiment, not a problem, but nothing hard. You don't take hard drugs. Because you don't have a chance. It's only a one-time thing and you're hooked for the rest of your life. I know so many people who got stuck on that route. And so far, it looks really good with our kids.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that. Yeah. So look at the humanity in the children. It's the same with clients. You know, I practice Reiki. I see people. I work on people who are not well in either physically or mentally, emotionally. And there are two ways you can look at someone. You can look at somebody from a almost medical point of view and say, okay, they are ill, they are sick, something is wrong, they have a disease, they have a challenge, and it's no good. But instead of that, I always look at clients and people as the perfect manifestation of nature. So I don't see the illness. Not that I have a taboo about it. I don't, not at all. No judgment. But instead of looking at what is wrong, I look at what is right. And when you look at what is right, you just see beauty. Yeah, you should see gorgeousness. And here, maybe I'll tell you another key moment of my life after about 20 years of practicing meditation daily, sometimes for many hours. I had an issue that I couldn't handle. I was sitting, and during my meditation, I always used to sit with closed eyes, and I was sitting there like this, and suddenly, doing, my eyes open. I thought, what am I doing? Am I sabotaging myself? Close the eyes again. And after a minute, ding, eyes opened again. I didn't know what to do. I asked one of my friends, one of my mentors, who again was like 25, 30 years older than me. And I thought he would probably have the solution for that. And he said, Arjava, what's the problem? Just keep your eyes open. I was like, what? Eyes open meditation. He knew I had rented a farm in Japan at the time. That was an incredible place, about 1.5 hours from the next big city, and had a view incredible. Just mountains, no other house, nothing. Just mountains, trees, foxes, bears. And she said, just go and sit there in your rocking chair and just keep your eyes open and gaze at the vast expanse. And then I started to practice it, and after a few days I realized that if I look at people the same way I look at a landscape, all the judgments that I may have about somebody, it just goes straight out the window. When you're looking at this beautiful scenery, I know you're living by the sea. If you look out at the sea, you don't have any judgment. You don't have any adjustments to make. You don't think like, oh man, the sea today, it's too green. We must make it a little bit more blue. Or that wave over there, if it were just a little bit bigger, it would be nicer. No, you just look at things as they show themselves to you.
Mm.
And if you do the same thing with people, all your judgment goes. And you look at them with love and with intimacy. It's really an easy trick. Look at people like landscapes, beautiful landscapes, no judgment, nothing, just as it is.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
We all have our issues, everybody. There's nobody who doesn't. I haven't met anybody who doesn't have issues, shortcomings, difficulties, challenges. So just accept it and look at your challenges like somebody who goes sightseeing, who goes, whoa, there's a big wall, and then find a way to climb that, to conquer that, or turn around and go the other way. It's like that. So beautiful. People are so beautiful. And as I said earlier, all of us have issues, challenges, and so do our kids. As a parent, maybe you are responsible for their well-being. You take care of their physical needs, their emotional needs, their financial needs and everything. But always remember that they too are here on a mission, which is to find themselves, as far as I'm concerned. It's not about making money or becoming famous or becoming this or that. It's about becoming yourself, about being yourself as intensely as you can. And they have their issues, they have things that they have to learn. I remember, for example, when I was a kid, I don't feel envy from childhood. I don't have that. I don't want to have what other people have. But it's not something that I worked hard to realize. I came like that. And I also came with issues, with difficulties. So from when I was a child, I often felt rejected. And that's all right. I feel that sometimes. Still now, I feel that. And I put myself in situations where I can feel that in my life. I create them.
Yeah.
So our kids also have those kind of issues, and just give them space to go through whatever it is that they need to go through. Trust that they have your emotional intelligence and that of your husband, your partner. Know that you are working on living your life to the fullest and they will do the same. That they have the best of all potential in them, yours and his. Trust it. Yeah, you found your way, they will find their way. That's so help them to have this deep trust. In German, we have a really good word for that. It's like essential trust, knowing that everything is okay. And that trust, I think, arises by knowing that you're made of love. When you know that, you're okay. And the next step, of course, is that where does that love come from? For a small child, first of all, comes from the parents. So if they know that they are loved, however they are, whatever they do, whether they are angry or upset or frustrated, you love them. Once they know that, once they realize that, they're safe.
Java, what happens when you have, which is coming a lot more common these days, broken families, so broken homes, like where, the children don't necessarily have both parents in the home. What's a good way to frame it for them then?
A good way to help them with that is that in a breakup, the children tend to think that they have to take sides.
Mm.
Yeah? So they think, okay, I'm with mom or I'm with dad. And they think that it's dad's fault or it's mom's fault. So they side with one of their parents,
Mm.
but they have two parents and they will always have two parents. It's just, let's say, a physiological fact that everybody has a mom and a dad. And if two people break up, which is sometimes unavoidable, it happened to me many times,
Okay.
luckily before I had kids. But if it happens when you have kids, make sure that they always know that they don't have to take sides,
Mm.
either one of them, but that they have both of their parents here in their heart. And then it's okay. That means for the partners not to talk badly about their former partner or the husband or wife of their kids badly in front of the kids.
Mm. Mm.
So if,
'Cause-
if you need somebody to vent your anger and frustration and your sadness and your hurt, say it to somebody else, but don't say it to your kids, because that will create this desire to side with one of them and leave the other one out. And the fact is that if you look at people, you can see that sometimes people are running on, let's say, 50% of their energy. And if you check with their personal history, you will find that they're not comfortable with one of their parents.
Mm.
So this is a, I think, super important thing to feel okay with both of your parents, no matter what happened, no matter whether they abused you or hurt you or made mistakes, but to feel both of them unite in here, because that's a biological fact. You are made of 4951 of your parents. You are there, okay? So in the other thing besides the Reiki and meditation that I do is something called family constellations, which is a way of systemic family therapy that was founded by my teacher, Bert Hellinger, a German ex-priest with whom I spent many years in training. And he had a beautiful ritual that one of his students thought of that we practice when we do these sessions. And I'll show you how to do this here. And for everybody who is listening, you guys can just do this visualization at home whenever you feel like doing it. Not like a daily practice, but whenever you feel you want connection to your ancestry, practice this. And what he said was this. He said, you imagine your parents standing behind you, mother on the left, father on the right, behind you. If you feel comfortable with them, imagine that maybe they have a hand on your shoulder each. And then you feel mom and dad behind you, and you feel their support and their love. And if there was a difficulty with any kind of abuse or maybe separation, leave the psychological behind, just feel them behind you as life force, like two rivers merging into one, which is you, okay? Then behind your father, you imagine your paternal grandparents, dad on the right, mom on the left. Then on the other side, you feel behind your maternal line, lineage, you imagine your mother's parents, mom on the left, dad on the right. So now you have your parents behind you and the grandparents. If you don't remember them, if you've never seen them, if you don't know who they are, just imagine them as presents, as people without a face. If you remember them, imagine dad's mom on your behind your dad, dad's father on your right, mom's parents behind, and then you go to the next generation. You imagine it. By then, you probably don't know what they look like. Just imagine your great grandparents from your father's side on the right, from your mother's side on the left, and then you keep building this. It's like a what you say in English, phalanx, like a formation, like an army
Right.
formation, yeah, like behind
Right. Yeah.
you. And everyone has a mother and a father. Yeah? That's just a fact. So keep building that behind you until you have an army behind you of people, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. This goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So behind you, there's this incredible amount of people. And all they want for you is to be well. Yeah, imagine for a moment, okay, your kids are small, my kids are still not really old.
Yeah.
But imagine that you are a grandma. Maybe by imagining your own grandma, if you had a nice grandma, which I hope you did, I'm sure you did actually, looking at you. So, and imagine, what does your grandma or your grandpa want from you? Do they want for you to be a politician or a lawyer or a doctor? No. They just want you to be well. They want you to have a good time, to be happy. So when you do this visualization, feel all the good wishes that are coming from behind. It's an incredible, unimaginable force. I'm just thinking of it right now, feeling these people behind me. So much power that we can tap into and accept and use to do something good with our lives. Yeah, incredible. Don't feel it like a oppressing force over my parents, my grandparents.
Oh, the pressure.
All the pressure and all the maybe terrible things that happened in their life. No, feel the pure life force coming through them into you. And then those of us who have kids, especially small kids, we can imagine them in front of us and all that love and all that energy going from us into them. Invincible. That's such a nice thing. So do that sometimes. And if you have difficulties with one side, maybe you don't know one of the grandparents, or maybe you had a problem with your mom or with your dad, work on it, leaving the emotional hurt behind and just feeling pure energy, pure life force coming through them, feeding you and giving you the power to do whatever you want to do in your life. And if there's one special ancestor of you that you know of who has maybe a similar history like you, if I look in my life, my great-grandfather had a very similar situation like in my life, yeah, with the divorce, with difficulties. Then I just think of him and ask him. I say, hey man, you have a better view from where you are. I see only one small
Yes.
keyhole vision kind of thing. You can see better from where you are. Tell me what to do. Show me the way. So use the incredible, the unimaginable force behind you. Just imagine these people, they have gone through everything. They've been rich, they've been poor, they've been loving, they've been kind, they've been real son of a bitches, everything. Yeah? And all of that comes into us and is available to us. Yeah, incredible. You could do whatever you want if you have that kind of immensity behind you in a humble way.
I feel, I think, I just think of into some of our audience who have, like I know on my father's side, I had a stepfather he had a stepfather, sorry, who was my pop, who I knew as my grandfather, but he wasn't biological. And then, some people, like I can manage to connect into my dad's biological father just through stories and things. But, what do you do in those situations? Do you choose the step father or grandfather, or do you choose the biological? Is it always the biological?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the biological. No matter, yeah, maybe your stepfather loved you more than anybody could. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you cherish that. That's an extra. That's
Yeah.
an extra gift that not many people have.
Yeah.
So you take that love too, but really it is the biological force behind us, and there's no substitute. There's no
Interesting. And
substitute.
so for our viewers that do find it hard to connect into the biological family, for, the things that have happened to them and all the rest of it. What are some tools to help them to just kind of get out of the way of that?
Like I said, disconnect your feeling from the hurt,
Mm,
from the pain that you have experienced, and pay
mm,
attention just to life force. Yeah, the life force, the same life force that's in the trees, in the sea, in the mountains, just life force. And
yeah.
imagine perhaps two big rivers merging into one, which is you.
Mm,
And that has nothing to do with their shortcomings.
mm,
If you had nice parents, or if you have nice parents, nice grandparents, it's easy
mm,
to do. It's tricky when there's somebody, I'm from Germany, so a lot of German families have ancestors who were maybe fascists. I'm lucky we didn't have that, but many people do.
mm,
People who did unethically, who committed crimes, who committed cruelty, and then it's difficult to accept the heritage, but you have to go past that.
yeah.
Leave the psychological, the emotional with them. This is their business.
Mm,
It's their, let's say, their karma. If your great grandfather was a bad person, that's his business, not yours. Just take the biological force, the power of nature that comes through him. Just take it. Yeah, and you'll be invincible. Yeah,
wonderful.
it might take,
It's
might,
wonderful.
yeah, it might take some work. It might take an effort because we're so identified with our emotion, especially with our emotional pain. And it's a
Mm,
good exercise to let it go, leave it behind. Just take the good. The same way that, let's say, we all have had, probably all have had different relationships, romantic relationships in our lives, some of which ended nicely and some of which didn't. Just take the good from all that and leave
mm,
the other, leave it behind. Yeah? All of what has happened to you from birth until now is your treasure
mm,
that you can draw from. See the negative, acknowledge the hurt, the pain, but take the positive to propel you into a good present moment.
mm,
Yeah? All of this, all of your life, all the difficulties are really your treasure,
mm,
and have an incredible potential for you to find who you really are and find out what you're not.
mm,
You are not your pain. You're not your frustration. You're something else. So find out what that is really you, that infinity inside of
mm. Yes. And I feel like the more you heal those relationships inside yourself, they don't actually have to be physically healed. As long as you're healing those relationships inside yourself, that then it helps to kind of be a domino effect onto your children or those that have had, relationship breakups. If you can heal that relationship with the ex-partner, that then helps that energetic frequency with the child.
absolutely,
Do you agree? Is that what? Yeah.
because they see you. They
Mm,
see how you deal with your life, with your past, with everything. They see it. And
mm,
this is their role model. If the children see, for example, again coming back to intimacy, when they see the intimacy that you have with your partner,
mm,
your wife, or with your husband, they see it all the time, and they might be, when they're small, going like, "Oh, what are they doing, kissing and they're being all over each other? Oh my God!" But I see it now with my kids. They're doing the same with their partners.
mm,
They are so
mm,
intimate and so warm and so open-hearted with them because that's what they've been watching all their life.
mm,
They've been watching their parents do. A few years ago, I was a little bit worried because our kids grew up in kind of I don't want to make it look too big, but kind of a perfect environment. loves dad, dad loves mom, the kids love each other, we love them, and all that. And I was a little bit worried that I'm living that I would put
Still too high.
the aim too high for them. And I was worried. I was thinking, boy, that's going to be difficult for them to find somebody with
Right.
they can do the same. But they both did.
Mm.
Huh? So very nice.
Very nice.
Not to worry, not to worry about that. They see they they see what you do, and they're most likely to do the same. Once when our daughter was maybe 13, 14 or so, I was on the Zoom or Skype or something with the family, and she said, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing some family therapy." She said, "What is that?" I said, Mom loves Dad, Dad loves Mom, and the kids love each other, and that sort of thing." And she said, "Yeah, but only in our family."
Oh,
Because they see around them, it's not like that. Yeah, they see struggle,
right.
that's politics, they see lies, they see people pretending. But that's a great thing to see, so you don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Not that you're better. No, I don't mean that at all. Yeah? We're not better. But you have the chance, by looking at the destruction all around you, you have the chance to grow into intimacy, into beauty, into love. Slowly, slowly.
Mm.
This is our job. That's what we're here for. If we didn't have to learn anything, wouldn't be here.
Mm. It just it makes me think, when we talk about intimacy, really it's around connection, isn't it? Intimacy is connection. So it's connection to yourself, it's connection to the divine, the
It's
source that all
every
that is.
it's everywhere. It's in relationship, and relationship, as we talked about earlier when we started today, it's
Mm.
the easy way to learn, but it's not necessary. Yeah? So for those of you who are single, who are maybe not interested in sharing your life with somebody else, don't be discouraged, because you can learn intimacy in every moment of life.
Mm.
Just pay attention to what you do. Give yourself as fully as you can to the present moment. Do everything giving your best. Sometimes
Mm.
it's good, sometimes it's not very good, but you do, you do what you can. And practice, 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 and learn.
I really think this year is going to be a year where we're really going to need to sit with ourselves a lot more in meditation. I feel like that's we're going to be called upon to do that just in order to just to stay centered and to stay connected. What do you think are some really easy techniques for those that are just starting out in meditation to find that connection?
So, I have a maybe different idea of meditation. It's something that I've been doing for a long time. I started when I was 15 or so, because I wasn't performing well at school. So my parents sent me to a psychologist, and he started to teach me some things, how to be more comfortable with myself in the situation
Mm.
I found myself in. And meanwhile, I learned that meditation is not sitting somewhere and not thinking. It's not possible. You cannot force yourself not to think, because the idea of not thinking in itself is another thought. There's no way out. So what you can do is some kind of practice of introspection, of sitting with what is happening inside and around you, whether with closed eyes or with open eyes. The technique doesn't really matter, but
Mm.
it's a practice to introspect, to feel what is going on. You hear, like here now, I hear some construction noises. Somebody's drilling something somewhere. A car drives by, a dog barks. This is what's happening. So I
Mm.
watch it, and by watching that, I'm aware of something inside me that I can't name, that I
Mm.
can pinpoint, that is watching all that, that is hearing that. So there's some kind of consciousness that
Mm.
is universal, that's all around us, and that's looking at itself. So that's a good practice. And from my point of view, I think the easiest way to do it, or the most, maybe the most easy for most people, is doing something concerning your breathing, watching your breathing. watching how in
Yes.
and out, coming all by itself. You don't need to do anything to do it if you're healthy. And just watch the breath come in and come out. There's a beautiful Indian technique, breathing technique, that says when in worldly activity, so while you're driving, while you're reading, while you're talking to somebody, while you're looking at nature, while you're going out at sea, be aware of the gap in between the in and the out breath. It is a very beautiful technique, so super simple. Just be aware of it. You're breathing in, there's a small gap, and in that gap you encounter infinity, really.
Mm.
Yeah, there's just space. And then you breathe out, and again there's a little gap in which you encounter this infinity, which is yourself.
Mm.
And then keep doing that. In the beginning, maybe take a few minutes while you're reading or while you're being driven somewhere or while you're sitting somewhere having a cup of tea, and just watch your breathing.
Mm.
As you watch your breath, immediately you come down to yourself. You forget about your challenges, which are either in the past or in the future. And you come back.
Or in my case, my children that have just turned up and have decided that it's time for mummy to stop her podcast.
Let them come. They can't disturb us.
They've just walked off. Those are beautiful techniques, Ajava. I think they're really going to help all of us. I'm going to be practicing that over my cup of coffee tomorrow morning.
So you said that 2026 will have some kind of energy. I don't know about that. I have no idea. I think it's always the same, to me at least. I don't think that 2026 is any different from any other day. So we don't suffer from karma, from the bad things that happened in the past, but we suffer from our unawareness,
Mm.
from not being present. So be,
Yes.
being present heals all the unconscious difficulties. So just be here. Be here with whatever it is. Be here with your breath. Be here with your partner. When you're with your partner, give him or her everything that you've got. When you're with your kids, be present. And kids are great for that, because if you're not present, they're going to give it to you. They're going to stick
Clearly, you know. Yeah.
it. Yeah, they're great. They're great teachers. So be as present as you can. This is I think, the lesson to learn. One of them, I give you another technique. This is something very beautiful I learned in India from my teacher, from my spiritual teacher Osho. He said that all the unconscious stuff,
Mm.
yeah, by definition, cannot be worked through because it's unconscious. You don't know. Yeah, so it's an invisible, I don't want to say anything, because there are also good things in the unconscious. Yeah? It's not only negative. Unconscious doesn't mean negative, just means you don't know.
Mm.
But there are lots of situations in your past that maybe you regret, you feel bad about, you feel you didn't give yourself fully to it, you could have done better. Maybe there were situations in which you were hurt by other people, and you could now go into therapy and try to go into everything and try to fix everything, but it's a Pandora's box. It never stops.
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe in one single existence, even in the past 40 years, there's a lot of stuff that hurt, that scarred the heart. Huh?
Mm.
If you believe that there is more than one life, by definition, you cannot fix all that stuff. You don't have enough time. You cannot fix all the hurt of 10,000 past lives.
Mm.
It cannot be done. Huh? There's not
Mm.
enough time. So
Mm.
instead of that, imagine your etheric body, which is what is around you, your heart, mind, your thoughts. Imagine to pump that up like you pump up a balloon or a bicycle tire with unconditional love.
Yes.
Yeah? And create an aura of love around you. The easiest way to do it is at home, when you're in a place where you feel comfortable and safe, or with your partner, with your kids. Just create this aura of love around you. And then as you learn how to do it, you can also do it when you're outside. Just imagine you're like with this aura of love around you, and that love will heal all the unconscious wounds. You don't have to do anything.
You're glowing. Like you're actually glowing right now. The whole room is glowing. Your
Oh, I know.
hair's lit.
I know.
Amazing.
It's a very simple trick, and it needs no preparation.
Ah.
It needs no technique. It needs no spiritual development or anything. You can do it right here and right now. Just create this loving space around you, because this is what it is. We are that. We are love. So we can create it. I mean, when I say create it, it's actually not the right thing to say, because we don't need to create it. We just need to pay attention to what is here with us and what we are, and boom, everything in the room lights up.
Yeah, your room lit up.
And
Amazing.
so easy,
Mm.
so easy. But how do you get to that? How do you feel yourself as that?
Mm.
How do you battle with everything that's keeping you from doing it? And one of the ways I do it is with the visualization of the ancestral behind you, feeling that incredible power, that biological force that doesn't have a polarity, doesn't have plus or minus. It's just as it is. And by feeling the love in your heart, maybe you persuade yourself first to remember somebody you love very deeply, a child, a parent, a partner, whatever, the sunrise, the sea, anything goes. Yeah? Feeling that first, maybe your chest, yeah? Feeling that develop, and then imagine that spreads and you pump up that balloon around you with this feeling. And before you know it, the whole universe is full of light.
Oh, how wonderful.
The good news, Catherine, is that we have in Hollywood movies, we always have this struggle between good and bad, the dark and the light, the plus and the minus, and you always wonder who's going to win in this movie. Sometimes the good guys win, sometimes the bad guys win. But in the inner world, it's different.
Ah.
Yeah? So in the inner world, intense positive emotion like love, like compassion, like intimacy. They're like light. And when you turn that light on, the darkness just disappears and you don't even need to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like going into the basement and you turn the light on. It's just, it lights up everything. Boom. So simple. So instead of staying with our emotional pain and our difficulties and all that, go to
Go to the light.
this other thing, the light. There's no need to say, I had enough of this life. I want to go to the light.
Oh, right. No, not that kind of light.
I want to go up. I want to ascend. I want to go to heaven, to enlightenment. No, 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 nothing like that. Be here. Just be here and pay attention to that beauty that is here. That is you, that is everywhere. In New Zealand, I think this is really easy because you have this incredible nature all about, and not so many people. And a big city is more difficult.
Yes.
Because there's so much mind activity, so much pain in the collective that it compresses you, that ties you up. But when you're in nature, I think about it almost every day or every day. Here where we live, there's so much space. It takes us 3 minutes. We're out of the village and there's just space. And that space is beautiful.
Limitless.
Yeah, and that touches that beauty inside us, like when you pluck a string of an instrument and it just goes.
It's gorgeous, Java. You always come up with such beautiful, beautiful wisdom that you share with us. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really simple, super simple. We always think that we need to change, we need to improve ourselves. And yes, it's a nice hobby. I've been
Mm.
um, playing with that hobby all my adult life, trying to polish that inner diamond more and more. And then you will always find more king, more,
Yes.
more uh, pimples on that nice diamond, and it's a nice hobby to polish that. That's all right, yeah. But instead of that, if you just pay attention to really what is happening in this moment, there's no need to change anything, and no need to project into some future. Once I have finished this, once I quit smoking or quit drinking, or once I don't do this anymore, I don't do that, then yeah, this
Yes. Then.
carrot in front of your nose. It will never come closer.
No.
So instead of projecting always into some future that is not here yet, or some past that is long gone, be here, be present, and boom, everything lights up.
Have you read the book, The Power of Now?
Yes,
Right. Yes.
yes, many
It
years ago.
isn't fabulous, isn't it?
Very beautiful. This was one of the highlights in the last, when did it come out? 25 years ago or something like that. Or something like that. They're very beautiful.
Mm.
Met Eckhart Tolle on 2 occasions also. When he gave lectures, was very beautiful to see, unpretentious, simple, showing us how to be really here with what is.
Mm.
Beautiful. I'm very grateful for that.
Mm. Yes, a lot of what we have spoken into today reminds me of a lot of what his teachings are in the book as well. So not all, but a lot of that. So if anybody wants to dive deeper in, they can grab the book or
Yes,
The Power of Now.
uh, that's the secret. It's simple.
Mm.
Yeah. Beyond all projection, beyond all wanting, desires, growing, all of that. That's just procrastination.
Yeah. Or distraction,
Yeah, and distraction
distracting you from yourself.
from yourself, which imagine somebody is looking for themselves. It's really a ridiculous idea. Why would you be looking for yourself? So if you're looking for yourself, go to the bathroom. Look in the mirror. Look at yourself. You're here. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to come. You are as you are, and you are beautiful as you are, with your shortcomings. With it. Just embrace that.
Mm.
Embrace that and say yes. What is this idea of perfection? Of where does that come from? This is also
Mm.
society and morals and ethics and politics and religion kind of
Yeah.
clipping your wings. Now enough of the wing clipping. Open the door of your cage and just be yourself. For God's sake, nothing.
Be imperfectly perfect
Yes,
as you are.
yes, and celebrate that. And for that, you need honesty also.
Mm.
And say, yes, I am angry. Yes, I am irritated. Okay, nothing wrong with that. It's human. It's normal. It's all right.
Mm.
But relax into that and just take yourself as you are. If you have somebody you love very intensively, like example for me, my wife, when I look at her,
Mm.
I just see beauty. And if the genie would suddenly pop out of this bottle that I found on the beach and would say to me, "Hey, Arjava, you, because
Have this.
you freed me, you have one wish, right? You can change your wife." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to put the cork back on you.
Yeah.
I don't want to change her.
Mm.
Want her the way she is, just as she is, with all that comes with it. And if you start to look at yourself like that, the same way, in a humble way, you got it made.
And Java, if any woman has a husband that looks at her like that, she's got it made. It's beautiful.
But
Very beautiful.
it goes both
Yeah.
ways.
Mm.
And this was the prerequisite for our getting together, is that we mirror each other
Mm.
and we look at each other with that, seeing the beauty and the being. And the being
Mm.
is beautiful. Everybody.
Mm.
Everybody's being is beautiful. I've never seen anybody who's not. The thing is that people don't see it themselves because they always project out and want to make adjustments. Don't make adjustments. I love kids. It's
Yeah.
so much fun to see them grow. It's I guess, my first job was gardening, farming, and I see this whole education business the same way. You're just
Mm.
taking care of these fragile little flowers, and look what you can do to help them grow up beautifully. And it's humbling, really. It's a blessing.
It is a real treasure.
Because I travel a lot, I often spend almost half of the year outside. When I come home, when they were smaller,
Mm.
I was really looking forward to the noise, the chaos, the everything that they create in the house. The more, the better. I always loved it. So I was never irritated dad who was thinking, "Oh, I'll be quiet." I'm like, "Yeah, more noise. Let's make more trouble."
And I feel like that would have a lot to do with you and your meditation practice, And I think a lot of that is when people are feeling like they're not able to connect with themselves and they're overstimulated and they're just not having that time to recharge and get into that more centered space.
I suppose.
I really mm,
Yeah, I suppose it must have to do with it. In the end, it's all about you and how you are with yourself. If you are content with yourself, if you're quiet, if you're in your center,
mm,
whatever is happening around you is going to be good,
yeah.
whatever it is. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, so that's at the center of it all is really that. Is how are you with yourself?
Mm.
And when you're okay with yourself, you're okay with others, even your husband.
Even your husband. Oh, hey. I love my husband.
I hope, I hope this
I
one.
love my husband like you love your wife. Oh, that was for your wife, not
Yes,
not for my husband.
I hope she's not listening. Yeah, we make it too difficult. We make our lives too difficult.
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah,
bad habit. Shift focus, like somebody who's standing, this feeling well. You're standing on the beach. If you look at one direction, and let's say in that direction there is trouble, just turn around, look the other way,
yeah.
and then look straight out at the sea. And in the present, there's no trouble. We have so many things going on this year. Difficulties with work. I quit about a year ago. I quit my position in Jikiden Reiki. It was like a bed that was already made for the future, lots of work, and suddenly now there's nothing. So it's tricky. I also have to struggle with that, and I worry about how it's going to go. No work, no income. But okay, if this is what's happening, I created it myself. I got myself into this trouble myself, nobody else's responsibility. So
Mm.
no,
But
enjoy the moment.
I'm sure there are lots of people out there. It's just around marketing yourself now to get that exposure because you're amazing. You're incredible. I've been on your courses, so um, it's just about getting it out there now, isn't it, Ajava? It's all that kind of stuff that you haven't had to do before, or hiring someone to do that for you.
Yeah, maybe this is the way to do it. I don't want to get into the marketing side of it because that's not my skill.
Mm.
Other people have those skills. I have different skills, and I like to concentrate on what I want to do and what I want to.
Yeah, you want to focus yeah, on what, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that would love to have you. I know New Zealand wants you back. I know Australia wants you. So
Okay, Yeah, so life is going to be a struggle. That's for sure. We often laugh at home that we never have a dull moment. There's always something going on. Yesterday, one of our cars died. There's always something to get you moving, and that's good. That's good. Stagnation is not good.
Yeah. I was told once that when bad things happen, it's just, and I believe this to be true, all it is just I mean, if everything was good all the time, why would you move anywhere? So sometimes something bad has to come in to push you forward.
Yeah, there is no bad. There is no.
Mm.
And then when things are going, let's say, really well and smooth, it's like driving on a highway, you
Okay.
know, and you get
Yeah.
more and more tired. The monotony of it lulls you to sleep. So when
Yeah.
they're challenging, when you have new challenges in front of you, you're awake, you're crisp, you think better. It's all good.
Yeah. Keeps you on your toes.
Keeps you on your toes, and you always reflect and look inside. What is it that I really want to do? What is it that I have to give to life to make the world better? What do I have? What can I do?
Mm. Mm.
That's how I look at it. Beautiful. No,
Yeah.
no complaints.
Well, as always, it's been amazing, and I've probably kept you far too long. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing all of your amazing wisdom with us. And I'm really looking forward to our next podcast
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. It's so much fun talking to you, Catherine. Really, I enjoy it very much.
Same.
Let's do another one.
Soon. Before you get super busy this year, because I know you will be.
Okay, for the next month or so, I have time, so we can do something.
Lovely. Perfect.
Good.
All right.
Thank you
Lots
so
of love
much.
to you.
Lots of love to you and everybody out there. I love you guys. See you soon.
Yes. Thank you for spending this time with us. You've been listening to Catherine Parr's Light, a space for spiritual awareness, evolution, and expansion. In this episode, I was joined by Frank Arjava Petter, and together we explored intimacy, love, and presence as lived experiences, ways of meeting ourselves, each other, and life itself. This conversation reflects the essence of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, a remembering that healing, clarity, and truth are always available in the present moment when we allow ourselves to be fully here. If this kōrero resonated with you and something within you feels called, I invite you to like, rate, subscribe, or even just share this podcast. You never know who might be needing to hear this conversation at exactly this time. Until next time, continue returning to yourself, stay with what is, and trust the wisdom that unfolds when you meet the now. Ka kite anō.